first thing you need to know to be able to generate leads effectively is, who is your audience? Who exactly is your customer? So first of all, who is it that you're trying to attract? Now, let me be clear here. I'm not suggesting that you can't sell to every single person in the whole world, but what you need to do is learn to sell effectively to certain groups of people within that general population. So for example, and this is an example I like to use in my workshops, let's imagine I'm selling Levi jeans. And let's say that I go out to 20-year-olds and I say, what would you like from your jeans? Typically, they tell me that they want them to have a modern cut, look fashionable, make them look good, and that they're trendy. Now let's say I go out to a group of 50-year-olds and I say to them, what would you like from your jeans? Typically, the answer I get is, I want them to be comfortable. I want them to wash well. I want value for money. You know, I want them to wear well. So as you can see, we've got the exact same product, but different age groups have different expectations from that product. So the idea of marketing is that you attract the ideal customer through talking to them about the typical problems, concerns, and issues that they have. So first of all, who is it that you're trying to attract? So you need to get that really nailed down. The next thing is, what is their biggest problem? What is it that they're trying to solve? So obviously, in the case of my jeans, my 20-year-olds wanting to look good and feel good and have the most modern, fashionable style of jeans. I, as you know, am a business builder. I help small and new businesses get started. So I help them overcome the problems of getting found online by teaching them strategies for successful online marketing. You need to have a think about what you do to solve your customer's problem. Now, it doesn't just have to be a service. You could sell jewelry, and you could sell high-end jewelry to people who are looking for quality product, but without those massive price tickets. So you're selling jewelry, you're solving a problem for someone looking for that particular problem. So how do you know what problem your customer has? Well, my best advice is to get on the forums, get on the Facebook groups, find out what people are talking about. What's the most commonly asked question in the Facebook groups? What are people trying to find the answer to? Now, an example of this is when I first started way back in about 2009 or 10, and I was learning online marketing. And as part of that process, I learned how to build and create websites. And one day I was innocently looking around on some of these online forums. I was just learning about affiliate marketing, how I could monetize the website that I just built. So I got onto some affiliate marketing forums, and they were all complaining about having to have different websites to promote different products. And I just didn't understand this. So quite innocently, I just put in, a question, well, why don't you use the same website but have different landing pages within that website to promote your different products? Well, these guys were astounded. They had no idea that you could do that. And why would they? They're not web designers, they were affiliate marketers. So inadvertently, I had just solved a huge problem for a lot of these marketers. And that is how my business began, believe it or not. So having an answer to a question or a solution to a problem makes a massive impact on your marketing efforts. You're able to directly sell to somebody who's actually looking for whatever it is that you're selling or promoting. Okay, so excuse me, the next thing we need to look at is, how are you going to solve that problem? So is it going to be by a one-to-one? So if you're a life coach, you might need to get someone to come in, and sit with you for a couple of hours that you can, talk to them about their particular issues and help them to solve them. If you're selling something online, what is it that you're selling, and how are you going to make it as easy as possible for your customers to buy? And how are you going to promote yourself effectively? So you need to have to think about how you're going to solve the problem for your customers. So I do online tutorials, I do workshops where people actually come and work with me, I do mentoring programs. So there's all sorts of different ways that I solve problems for my customers. You need to think about how you would like to solve those particular problems for your customers. Next, why is your solution different to everyone else's? So, there are loads of business coaches out there. So how do I make myself different from others? Well, I don't just coach businesses. I don't just ask you, how you feel about things or where you feel or think you can go and find solutions to problems. What I do is I roll my sleeves up and I get stuck in there with you and I'll say, okay, right, to solve that problem, you can use this app or this tool or this strategy, and I actually help my clients to implement that into their business. So that sets me apart from most of the other business coaches that I'm aware of, particularly in my local area. The next thing is, what benefits will your customer receive from using your solution? Now, what you need to think with marketing is everything has to be all about the customer and not about you. So an example of this, let's say I'm selling rugs, and let's say that I'm marketing my rug as a 100% natural wool product that conforms to British Standard BS 9000/243. Well, okay, that might be a very worthwhile, I made that up by the way, but that might be a very worthwhile accreditation to have. But it's not really helping me as a customer, is it? I'm not really that interested in that particular thing. However, if you'd said, I'm selling 100% pure wool rugs that are hand knotted, which means they're dust and dirt repellent, so they're easy to keep clean and hyperallergenic. That to me is a benefit. Great, no more sneezing, a lot less housework. I can see the benefit of that rug. So make sure that whatever you're selling is about your customer and how you're solving a problem for them, that it's not about you. Okay, once you've done all that, it's time to create a lead magnet. You're going to need a way to capture the details from those people who are interested in your offer so that you can follow up with them. So really the great point of getting leads is that they don't just become interested for 5 minutes and then go away. These are people you can actually follow up with over a period of time. And this is crucial in business and will help you not only get more leads, but also convert more of those leads into customers. Here are some examples of what a lead magnet is. And basically, they're pretty pictures. They are attractive, eye-catching images that would draw the eye, but also they contain what we call a hook. Now, as you can see here on the first one on the left, we've got how to go from 0 to 100,000 in just 12 months. Now, that is a hook because somebody who's looking to build a business quickly, that would be of interest to them. They want to get that 6-figure business. So they might click on that just to find out what's behind it. In the next one, build an entire business in 5 days, from an idea to a fully functioning business in just 1 week. So again, somebody who's looking for that support, that help, they want to get there that bit quicker, this might be a very attractive proposition for them. And as you can see on this one, they've actually included a call to action as well. And it says, sign up here. So I'm actually telling them to do something. And then the third one, free and easy business hints, tips, tools, and tutorials. So those who are trying to struggle their way through on their own, but who are looking for a little bit of help and support that they don't have to pay for, this could well be what they're looking for. So again, it will encourage them to take action to find out a little bit more. So that's basically what a lead magnet is and how to use that hook within your lead magnet. So what happens once they click it? And how do you capture those details? Well, here is an example of what happens when you click a lead magnet. So the top bit is the pretty picture with the hook that attracts their attention. And then below that is the bit that captures their details. So this is where they enter their email address, their name, if you need a telephone number or any other details that you want to capture from your leads. And then the bottom bit there, that's the subscribe button. So that's when they actually submit their details to you. It is important once you've got these leads that you actually follow up with them, because otherwise there's no point in having them. To totally automate your lead follow-up process, you can create a free account with an email service provider such as MailChimp. MailChimp is free up to 2,000 subscribers, so it will certainly get you going and started for free. There are also people like Aweber, MailerLite, there's plenty, but MailChimp is a free platform for you to start on. So MailChimp will collect your lead details for you and store them on a list. Once they appear on that list, you can decide what happens to them next. Obviously, the first thing they would receive would be the thing that they signed up for, i.e., those free resources that they might want to use in their business. But then you can continue offering value over a period of time with an email sequence. So this is kind of how that works. We're putting all this into what we call a 5-point touch framework. So in the first instance, we create some content. So we've created maybe a blog post or a Facebook post or a pretty image that's going to capture some attention. Now, the idea of this is to get you out there, it's to get you recognized, it's to get your brand, your logo seen by as many people as possible. So obviously the more content that you can share across your social media sites, your blogs, your website, or anywhere else that you are active online, the better, because this gives more people the opportunity to come across you and therefore recognize you. Then there's the next point 2. This is where you create that lead magnet. And this lead magnet, obviously, as I've just shown you, is where the excitement starts to happen, because you're capturing the details of people who are actually interested in what you've got to say or sell. And then in the third point, this is where that email sequence starts to kick in. Now, an email sequence is basically the first email they get would obviously be access to those free resources that we saw in one of those earlier lead magnets. But then maybe a few days after that, I would send them another email saying, hey, thanks for downloading my resources or accessing my resources. Just checking to see how you're getting on with them. Did you find them useful? Let me know, hit reply, let me know. I like to have a conversation. And then I can also offer them perhaps another tip, another hint, something that's going to help them to develop their business a little bit more. And then maybe a week or so later, I can send them another email that again builds on that relationship that I've just started, asking them how they got on with the latest tip and maybe offer them another one. And then at some point we get on to point 4, which is the prime touch point. And this is the time when we actually make an offer. This is the time when we say, look, okay, you've had all this free support from me. Now it's time to actually buy something. Obviously, you don't put it like that, but you're making an offer to them that you feel is going to be relevant to them and that is going to help and support them. And then there's the final touch point, which is the post touch point. So you've sent all of your information to them. They've taken you up on your offer. They've bought your coaching course or your jewellery product. Then you want to make them your fans, your evangelists. You want to get testimonials from them, because these are the people who are happy with what they've received from you. And so they are going to be great ambassadors for your brand and your business. And it's going to be much more effective marketing to people on the back of other people's testimonials. So basically, that is how this whole process works. You're thinking about who it is that you're trying to attract in the first place. You're then putting together the lead magnet to attract their attention to get them to take action, i.e. give you their email address. You're then creating that follow-up nurturing series that's going to help provide more value, more information for them so that they get to build that know, like and trust factor with you. And then when you make the offer for them to actually buy something from you, they're far more likely to do so because they've already had value and they've enjoyed what they've had and it has actually worked for them. So that there's trust there. And then obviously once you've worked with them, then it's about asking them to give testimonials, reviews, etc. Now, I know that all that might sound a bit complicated, but this is just a process. It is a system that, if followed, will bring about the results you want. Now, you can get a totally free step-by-step guide on how to get all of this working for you in super quick time by completing the form below this video. You will learn how to define your audience, how to find out what problems your customers face, how to identify your value proposition or that hook that we're going to put onto that lead magnet, how to create an attractive lead magnet using totally free tools. None of what I've talked about in this tutorial is going to cost you a single penny. Every single thing I've shown you and talked about is a free strategy. You're also going to learn how to set up that email service, how to create that follow-up series that will convert like crazy. So it's over to you. There you have it, the most effective way to generate leads and convert them into sales. This is a totally automated process that once set up will continue to work for you without you having to do anything. So why not get started right now? Just complete the form below this video to get your totally free step-by-step guide and see how many more leads you start to bring into your business. This lead generation is the first step in my six-figure system, and as I said earlier, I consider it the most important step as it's what's getting the whole ball rolling. So I really hope I get to see you on the other side.